Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jamie here. Hope you're all having a great week. So, this video, I wanted to talk about 6 tips for eating healthy when you're dining out. So, we all know when we go to restaurants, we go through the menu, and there's a lot of things to choose from. A lot of great stuff. You usually go to a restaurant that has your favorite food, so you can end up getting um, something that looks really good, but maybe isn't necessarily as healthy as something you should be having. Maybe you don't know exactly what it contains, what ingredients. You see something you've never seen before, something with a combination of all this crazy stuff, and it's something that you have to have. Um, but most of that is because you're unprepared. So, tip one would be do your research. Most restaurants have their menus online, so find ones that have nutrition information listed for their items. It'll tell you the ingredients, it'll tell you calories, things like that. Even fast food menus are doing this now, so it should be pretty easy to find a menu if you just go online. Um, so it's important to have a plan in place, like having light meals before you have a big dinner, eating slowly, adding physical activities such as taking longer walk to the restaurant. So if you know you're going to have a big dinner, you're going out for dinner later, have lighter meals during the day. This way, if you have a big dinner, then you won't necessarily overeat for the day because of having bigger meals earlier in the day. You also want to eat slowly and make sure you're not rushing through a meal. Feel like you have to get through the meal and then go on to like dessert or something like that because you feel like you're still hungry. So just take your time, eat slowly, and also if you live in an area or you're going to a restaurant where you're able to walk. Maybe you can park in an area that has a parking lot and take like a 5-minute walk. Do that. This way you get your physical activity in before you jump into dinner. Um, I always try and make a habit of not eating somewhere spontaneously. I try and find something healthy to eat at a place where I can enjoy the walk there. Obviously, if I'm somewhere I haven't been before, as far as like a new town or a city or whatever else, it's you're likely to encounter local restaurants that you haven't been to before. So in that case, I always try to find a menu. I try and find exactly what I want, go through and see the nutrition information, things like that. Basically, go down my checklist of what would make it a healthy meal, and then I know exactly what I'm going to have by the time I get to the restaurant, and then I stick to that plan, and I usually am able to enjoy my meal more easily because I'm not, constantly worrying about what else I can eat, if it's healthy, things like that. So that's a good tip to keep in mind when you're going, out to eat somewhere, is to always be prepared. So tip two would be don't just split your plate. As a general rule, it's good to have smaller portions. So practice replicating that portion size when you go out to eat. So you want to visualize whatever portion size you would normally have, um, and when you go out to eat, try and replicate that for the portion sizes with the meal that you get. So it's not always realistic to just split the meal in half because you might be getting a meal that is 3 times the size of what you would normally be eating. So it's more accurate to just replicate the exact size that you're used to having. So a lot of people will say that you can fix this by just splitting meals with someone, but depending on what you order, like I said, the portion size could still be too large. So splitting it down the middle, won't really work the way that it should. So if I get a meal that looks to be twice the size of what I usually eat, I'll immediately split it in half and save the rest to bring home later. This way, it works out even better because then I go somewhere for dinner, split it in half or in thirds, bring the rest home for lunch the next day or dinner the next 2 nights. So So you're basically paying for, 3 meals instead of one. So that's something to keep in mind also. If you go somewhere and they have bigger portions, basically think of it as spending money on 3 meals. So especially if it's 3 healthy meals, you're even better off. So tip three would be to add healthy foods to your meal. So most restaurants will let you customize items on the menu. So take advantage of that to add healthy ingredients instead. Look to add items like whole grain breads and pastas, healthy fats like olive oil and avocados, fruits, vegetables, lean meat like turkey, chicken, and fish. I have certain favorite foods that I like, so I'll always try and find ways of adding those ingredients to my meals, like asking for whole wheat bread, any vegetables like broccoli. If you're having chicken Alfredo, which Alfredo, I mean, in terms of the sauce, you don't want to necessarily have Alfredo if you're looking for a healthy meal. But my point is, you can add vegetables to any sort of pasta, like broccoli, or salmon instead of more of a fatty meat. So things like that you want to keep in mind, and always remember that you can customize any meal just by adding more healthy foods to them. So tip four would be don't eat out when you're too hungry. Biggest mistake you can make is being really hungry when you go to a restaurant or go food shopping even. You can avoid this by having a small snack before go to a restaurant or food shopping. Have something like a piece of fruit or a small salad. When you get to the restaurant. So I try not to be in a position where I'm really hungry before I go out to eat. But if I am, I'll have a small portion snack like apple slices, um, before I go, so I'm not as hungry when I get there. So you can do things like that. Get something that has like snack packs or fruits or vegetables like carrots. Something small that is contained in a good portion size bag. And get in the habit of eating that 20 minutes before you're going to be at a place like a restaurant or a grocery store that you're going to be surrounded by food. So tip five, see how different items are prepared. So it's important to look at the descriptions for different items on the menu so you have a better idea of how they're prepared. So if an item is described as grilled, broiled, or steamed, then it's likely cooked with less fat compared to items described as fried, breaded, rich, or creamy. Um, when I go out to eat, I'll narrow down the menu items to ones that have healthy descriptions and get something such as grilled chicken with vegetables. Um, avoid things like creamy Alfredo sauce, like I mentioned earlier. Things like that. You want to try to avoid whenever possible, because no matter what kind of meat or vegetables are contained in the meal, if they're cooked a certain way, they're likely to not be as healthy as those that are grilled, broiled, steamed, or anything else that is cooked in a healthy way. So tip six would be ask your server for help. So if you've checked the menu and you're still not really sure, you have a couple things that you can narrow it down to, but you don't know what the healthiest options are. You are trying to decide between something you like and something you've never had before. You don't know how it's cooked. You don't know if certain ingredients are healthy. Don't be afraid to ask your server for healthy alternatives or any recommendations that they have. They'll likely be very helpful to you because they want your business. Doesn't matter what you necessarily order because they're they're making money either way. So it's in their best interest to help you be satisfied whether you want to eat healthy or not. So if you go and you want to eat healthy, it's helpful to start with an item that you think could be healthy, like chicken, and ask it to be made with less oil, or ask to replace fries with a salad. always go with the mindset that you can customize the meal however you want, and the server will likely accommodate you depending on the type of place it is. They will more likely than not, be able to help you, customize the meal in a way that you want. So I like to find items that match what I would usually eat at home, and then do my best to customize it so it's similar to a healthy meal that I'm used to having. So, like I mentioned earlier, something like grilled chicken with vegetables and maybe something like brown rice, something like that. If I'm used to having it at home, I'm used to, going through my own meal plan and, cooking stuff that's healthy, and having the same consistent meals, then I'll usually look for that when I go out. So, there's so many combinations of healthy ingredients that you can eat. You just got to do your research, stick to what you like, because if you don't like what you're eating, then you're not going to want to eat it. But there's ways of taking what you like and making it healthier, than what you're necessarily used to. So again, ask for help finding healthy alternatives. Control your portion sizes. Stick to healthy sizes, and what you would normally eat at home if you do eat healthy at home. And just know you can definitely still have fun going out to eat without feeling like you can't do it in a healthy way. Yeah, I mean, once you start to get in the habit, you start to get in the routine of having these healthy meals, every day. Whether you do it at home or whether you go out to eat, it's definitely going to become a natural part of your lifestyle, and you won't really even think about having stuff that's not healthy anymore, because you've found meals that you enjoy that are healthy. So just get in the habit of transitioning any unhealthy stuff to healthy stuff. You'll start to recognize it at restaurants easier, and you'll be eating a lot healthier for it. You'll be a lot better off. All right, so that's it for this video. Again, if you liked it, please like and subscribe. I'm always putting out new videos, always trying to find different topics to help people in different areas. Always looking for feedback. Even if it's uh, criticism of whatever I'm doing. Whatever feedback. I'm just looking for ways to keep getting helpful content out for everyone, keep doing better. So yeah, again, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. All right, thanks again, and bye for now.